Here we are on the season finale at Hockenheim. The championship, Marcus Hamilton leads by 9 points, but he is down in 23rd. Tied in the championship, John Jones, 9 points behind, starts 7th, and Felix Guimaraes, who starts 4th, and Cellario, who is 13 points behind, back in 4th, is 5th. Now remember, the points are 25, 18, 15, 12, 10, 8, which means for Jones and Guimaraes, they have to finish in the top 5, and Hamilton has to not score points. And for Cellario, he has to finish on the podium, and that would be provided that nobody above him scores. So, who will be Season 2 champion? And we are waiting. And it was a very, very good start for Celia Camille. Not a good start for Moritze. And Bo Arvidsson moves up to 2nd. There, going around the outside, is Cellario, and he's going to try and get that podium place early. He does not want to leave his fate to destiny, and he is just going to send that. There's a move for Moritze, as Vai tags the back of him, and there goes Guimaraes. So it is Camille who leads. Arvidsson is 2nd, Moritze 3rd, then comes Cellario, Guimaraes is 5th. Now John Jones has dropped down to 9th, and Hamilton has stayed 23rd, at least for now. There's the move for Guimaraes. Dive into the back of Arvidsson. And there goes Guimaraes, his front wing, and his title chance with it. John Jones, meanwhile, has dropped out the top 10, so he won't take the championship right now. Which means as it's down to Cellario in 3rd, Roberto Cellario is your Season 2 champion. Because Jones isn't scoring any points. Guimaraes is going to have to pit because he's got damage, and Hamilton Phillip is down in 25th. There you can see Guimaraes, who is holding up a lot of traffic at the back. Arvidsson's got no rear wing. Rossenberger's on the glass. There's John Jones, who needs to get up into at least the top 5. And he's currently not even in the points. So, that probably means, unless a miracle happens, Felix Guimaraes is out of the championship fight. We are down to 3. Hamilton Phillip, John Jones, who has now got himself back up into the top 10, and Roberto Cellario, who is 2nd right now. And as it stands, he goes 5 points. Well, no, 4, because Jones will get 1. So we're going to 79, and Cellario will get 18, so he'll move on to 92. So yeah, currently Cellario wins the title by 5 points. There's Ryan 3rd, there's Moritze, it was Guimaraes, Shell, and Arvidsson. They all came into the pits. Montcalm's got damage in 6th. I don't know what happened to Pierre Montcalm, but he has got damage running in 6th place right now. Here we go. So he went into the back of Arvidsson. 7th place, Magliaro, then Musselberger, then Muller and Jones. We're going to keep an eye on John Jones here, because he's going to try and get P9. He obviously needs to finish in at least the top 5 to take the championship. But as it stands with Cellario, he would be, what, 13 points behind Cellario? So he needs to get some places going, and he's going to try and get ahead of the Lewis driver on the mid, Wolfgang Muller, around the outside and then sticking up the inside. Now up ahead you can see Montcalm has got damage, so that could be good news for Jones, who might just be able to get 2 drivers in one corner here. Let's see what happens. The bad news as well is that gap, because of Montcalm's damage, from 5th to 6th has opened up incredibly, as Jones and Miller quickly both get past Montcalm, who's obviously going to have to pit with damage. Even if Cellario bottles it from here, Jones still wouldn't take the title because he hasn't got into the top 5. So he's got to make up 4 places in effectively 10 seconds, but he has got just under 15 minutes, potentially a lot of crashes to do so. Now further up the field, George Vai is putting the pressure on Roberto Cellario. This is a P2, and he has just posted the fastest lap of the race so far. Meanwhile, Celia Camille leads this race, which is not really a sentence I thought I'd be saying today, but wacky shit often happens in this series, so let's go with it. As Montcalm has now come off into the pits, and here goes Vai for the move for 2nd place. George Vai trying to make Cellario lead in the championship from 5 points down to 3. And he has got the place. And then Cellario goes off the track, which is going to cost himself more time. So there we go. Cellario now only has a 2-point lead in the championship over Helson Phillip now. Because he goes up to 89, Hamilton Phillips on 87, Jones is on 79. Actually, no, Jones is up to 9th now. So he is on 80. So he's still got work to do. Roberts are there in 4th, then Moritz, Maglio, and Musselberger. And there is John Jones getting ahead of Wolfgang Miller. We're up into 8th place. So let's have a look how he did it. So I think he actually attempts to move down at the hairpin. And then this is how he got the job done. And he got that place that he had been pushing for the last lap. And he was on the outside. And well, look what happened. And it looked to me like Miller just got caught up on the inside and lost all traction. And now you can see Lemon's trying to get ahead of him, going for an interesting scenic route. Not really how it works, as there you can see Maglio fighting with Musselberger. And this is for 6th place, and at Sebastian Musselberger's home race, of course. Technically his 2nd of the season, but there we go. The bad news for John Jones, though, is because he needs to get up into the top 5, he's now got to push, because, you know, the next driver up the way from him is Musselberger, but he is 2.5 seconds behind Musselberger. Let's go back to the front, though, because George Wright is beginning to close up on Senior Camille for the race lead, and Cellario is not a million miles behind, back in 3rd. As Huang Sang-hun has come into the pits, as has Jackson Morris, and George Addio, and Helmut Philip. So, Helmut Philip won't be able to take any points. There's Wright trying to take the race lead off Camille, and we have a new race leader. So, Helmut Phillips into the pits. He can't score any points, and as it stands, Cellario will win the championship, which we've known, but now it looks even more likely. Unless John Jones can somehow get his way up into the top 5, we will have to wait and see what happens. So George Wright now leads the race. Helmut Phillips pitted, and he was already well done. The order as Camille goes a little bit wide. That's going to try against Cellario. Jones, meanwhile, has closed up that gap fairly nicely, I would say. Oh, and that's Moritz off the track. Oh, and I thought for a second he was about to smash into Moritz and they were both going to get damaged, but no, they somehow avoid each other. But an unforced error from Tawanda Moritz. And that gives Simona Moritz a P4. And I thought for a second we were going to see some damage. And that would have really spiced up this race. So yeah, as it stands, well, Guimaraes can't take the title because he was 9 points behind and he hasn't scoring any at the moment. That was a lock-up from Cellario, which is not going to help him. Helmut Philip can't score any points because he's last. So it goes to Cellario, who has to finish in the top 3. Well, he gets 15 points as it stands, finishing 3rd. He moves up to 89. Jones is running an 80, which gives you 4 points, which takes him on to 82. So as it stands, Cellario is on 89. We've got yellow flags. Why is in the wall? George Wright was leading the race, is out of the race, and to say I'm shocked, I am not even shocked. This is just what George Wright does. He gets very good positions and balls it. And if there was any error in the software there, MegaSync decided that was the best time to update me on my transfer quota. But anyway, that's what happened to George Wright, smashing it into the wall, which is not ideal for your chances of winning. There's Musselberger trying to take P6, which is now effectively P5 off Maglio, and he gets the job done. But look in the background, look who's going to take advantage of this, and now John Jones is going to try and get ahead of Maglio for 6th place. Going to try and do a similar move to what he did on Wolfgang Miller. But he hasn't got it done this time. So, Cellario has now got 18 points because he is 2nd. That pushes him on to 92. So, if Jones ends up in 5th, he gets, what, 10? Which would only be good enough to take him on to 88. So now I think Jones has to get a top 4 finish. So, at this stage, I think the only way that John Jones could win the title is either A, he goes on a mad look that dash in his last couple of minutes, or Roberto Cellario crashes. We'll have to wait and see. Or maybe Moritz and Moritz hit each other here. We will see. As Moritz has got a very nice run, to be fair. Going to go down the inside. Can Simona Moritz take P3 off to Anna Moritz? Yes, she can. And Moritz was then slow. So we'll see what happens. Further down the order, by the way, Vitaly Leshiov's back up into the top 10 for I think the first time in about 10 years. So, other stuff is happening, which is obviously more focusing on the front because this is more significant for the title fight. Speaking of, Well, I thought Cellario was going to go for a win from Camille, but no, it was just because they were going close at the hairpin. Jones has lost time for Magliaro. So, on there, is that rain? Ooh. Well, John Jones is going to catch up to Magliaro. And Jones has got... Oh, Miller's had a mistake somewhere. Because Wolfgang Miller was comfortably inside the top 10, and that's what happened to Wolfgang Miller. Into the wall he goes. That pushes Chesmonget Dever up into the top 10. Right, Cellario is making good ground with Camille, and this is for the race lead. And what a way this would be to win the championship for Roberto Cellario. Not just come from 4th to 1st in the last race of the season in the championship, but to win the race. So, we will see. I mean, he's won 2 races this season, but he hasn't won any since Brands Hatch. And since then, his best finish has been 4th. But, is this the move for the race lead for Roberto Cellario as he goes up the inside, locks up, and off he goes, and into the wall. No front wing. Oh my god. Cellario throws away the championship. So Cellario's not going to score any points. Helson Phillips not going to score any points. Guimaraes isn't going to score any points. All John Jones has to do now is get ahead of Alessio Magliaro in these final 8 minutes, and he is going to be Season 2 champion. He's going for it now. Jones. Has he got the place? Magliaro is still there. Round the outside. Jones is up to 5th. So as long as John Jones keeps out the wall in these final 7 minutes and 40 seconds, he is Season 2 champion. Because Helson Phillips not scoring. Guimaraes isn't scoring. Cellario is still in the top 10, but obviously he's going to have to pit with damage. So obviously 5th place gives you 10 points. And that will take John Jones 1 point ahead of Marcus Helson Phillips. Moritz, meanwhile, is still continuing his good fight for 2nd with Simona Moritz. Won't go for it there. I think he'll wait for the hairpin. Yellow flags briefly. Don't know what that was about, but there we go. And here comes the move from Moritz. Trying to take P2 off Simona Moritz. Up the inside. Doesn't smash it into the wall. And Tawanda Moritz moves up to P2. Which would be his 3rd podium of the season. And what's been a pretty strong season from the Zimbabwean. Not Zimbabwean, Mozambican. So, Jones is 5th. The only man who could really stop the title fight is either John Jones himself or, of all people, Alessio Magliaro, which... This is giving me Abu Dhabi vibes, as that's a car off in the background. That's Vitaly Lesyov and no front wing. Which is a shame, and that means now the other Jones, the Saffron Jones, who has started all the way down, I think, like 22nd, is making her way for the field. Moritz are already beginning to build that gap on Moritz. 6 minutes to go. And what a season finale we had. Obviously, Helson Phillips was already at the back. Then, Felix Guimaraes. Bang! Damage lap 1. Cellario running P2. Surely sets it title. Tried to take the race lead off Celia Camille. Locks up into the hairpin. Smashes it into the wall. And Knight. And Moritz is going very slowly. So I don't know what happened to her. Doesn't appear to be damage. So you can see Marcos Valadares, and he has gone for a spin. But that's a perfect 360 pirouette, you know. 5 minutes 30 to go. As it stands, John Jones by 1 point is your Season 2 champion. Rosberg in 4th place, getting held up by the lap car of Wang Sang-hun. So we'll just see if he can quickly clear him off, because if not, the next man down the road is John Jones. As by the way, only 13 drivers have not pitted now. last of those who haven't pitted is unsurprisingly Emerson Stouthouse, because of course it is. Yeah, Motorsport are having issues getting past Sang-Hun. So that's probably because Sang-Hun's got fresher tyres, to be fair, having pitted at some stage in this race. So he would have a little bit more grip. So, leader is Celia Camille. Second place, Diana Roberta. Simona Huete is third. Fourth place is Sebastian Massenberger. And then in fifth place is your current Season 2 champion, John Jones. And what's been a really strong end to the year for John Jones. He only had 13 points from the first 5 races. Since then, 2 wins, finished on the podium, and he's currently finishing in the top 5 here. Massenberger now going to try and make his move on Sang-Hun. But he hasn't got it done. Has he? On the outside, onto the straight. No, I think he has now. Yeah. So, Massenberger has now cleared off Sang-Hun. McLaren, by the way, dropped 6.5 seconds behind John Jones. So I don't know if he had a moment somewhere. Or John Jones is actually just that quick. As I say that though, Sang-Hun gets back ahead of Massenberger. Just under 3.5 minutes to go in this Hockenheim race. Guimaraes is 15th, he's not scoring any points. Cellario 18th, no points. Helston 22nd, definitely no points. But now, Massenberger's just got no grip, and look who's in the background trying to take P4. That man is John Jones. And remember, all he has to do is finish in the top 5. He wins the championship if he finishes in the top 5. Because everybody else he was in the title fight with, which were Cellario, Guimaraes and Helston Phillip, they're the only 3 who can win it mathematically. They're all not scoring points right now. So, Massenberger finally got ahead of Sang-Hun. Now it's John Jones' time to get ahead of Sang-Hun. And if John Jones loses the championship because of a lapped car, then, yeah, 2.5 minutes to go. Here we're at Hockenheim for the Season 2 finale. And we are on board with John Jones. Because he's got Sang-Hun, who's lapped, and Massenberger for 4th, right ahead of him. There you can see Simona Huete. She is currently on the podium right now. John Jones losing time there, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. He is going to go for this. Up the inside. He got Sang-Hun. Is he going to get Massenberger? This is for P4. They're side by side. Jones doesn't have to make this move, but he feels like he can do it. As Massenberger gets caught on the curb, and that is John Jones up to P4. He then gets tagged by Massenberger. But he keeps it, but he stays in 5th place, but Massenberger gets back P4. Magliaro, who's down in 6th place, is 6.5 seconds behind this fight, so there we go. 1.5 minutes to go. And the championship, well, the race leader, Celia Camille, is coming across the line now with 1 minute and 26 to go. So I think Camille has just started the last lap of Season 2. Unless she does a 1:26, which would be the fastest lap of the race. So, Camille's probably going to win. Roberts is going up second, Huete is third. Then it's Massenberger, and then John Jones, who only has to make it to the line as Helston Phillip is coming to the pits for the second time this race. And that is big contact, and that was so close to disaster. There must have been an inch in that one. An inch, a centimetre, whatever you use, American or British, or just normal really. This is what happened with Simona Huete as she went into turn 1, she locked up, caught the inside curve. Now as she spins around, look at where John Jones is. She hit Massenberger, yeah, but she didn't hit John Jones, and John Jones could now realistically end up on the podium. He is going to end up on the podium here. No, Massenberger keeps him off at least for now, but I get the feeling once they get into the hairpin, there won't really be too much of a fight from the German, who's going to have to pit, and yeah, he's already just getting out the way there. So John Jones is currently Season 2 champion, and he's going to be on the podium as well. Providing that no shenanigans happen. There's a move from Sang-Hun, who's lapped. I guess he's just trying to win the championship fight because fuck it, why not? Jones isn't really going to fight that too hard. He knows that if he fights, he could end up taking damage. Alessio Maglione can catch up to Mosselberger. No real shock there. 10 seconds to go. Celia Camilla's not even at the final corner, so this is the final lap of the race. And we will go to the front. Celia Camilla comes around the final corner. She wins the last race of the season at Hockenheim. John Jones, Season 2 champion, on the podium as well. 4 podiums in a row to end out the season. And we will see you in Season 3.